Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big Brighton welcome to Michael McIntyre.
Good evening, and welcome to my comedy roadshow. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, tonight I'll be introducing you to some of the finest stand-up comedians the world has to offer right here in my favourite place of them all. It's Brighton! So this is Brighton and Hove, actually. Is that right? So who's from Brighton, just by way of applause? Brighton? Who's from Hove, actually? Is it called Port Slade, unfortunately? You know you've got a Sea Life Centre and Harry Ramsden next to each other. I love that. Is the brochure from the Sea Life Centre the menu from Harry Ramsden? Is that how it works? So I've just had a holiday. It's always exciting to go on holiday. People now start thinking about their holidays. People are like, are you going anywhere nice this summer? You going to go anywhere nice? It's kind of a stupid question. No, I'm going to lock myself in the downstairs loo. Of course I'm going to say that. We like to go away for 2 weeks. That's the sort of standard 2 weeks. You're going away 2 weeks, 2 weeks. But we don't really want to go away for 2 weeks. We come back after 2 weeks. People say, do you have a nice holiday? Oh, it's lovely, yes. The weather was good. The hotel was lovely. How long you go for? 2 weeks. 10 days would have been enough. After 10 days, you just want to get back to your shit life, don't you? It's very difficult to book a holiday nowadays because everything is reviewed now on the internet, which leads to huge, big problems when you're making any kind of purchase, especially a major one like a holiday. I mean, literally everything, like toasters are reviewed on Amazon. Who are these people? Who are these people? You want to buy a toaster, you go online, you start reading people's reviews on toasters. Who in their right mind goes home and does toast? I better write the review on the toaster. Settings 2 to 6 are an embarrassment. What kind of a pop do you call that? I couldn't grab it. I had to risk my life and do it with a knife. It's a fun moment, isn't it, when you think, I've heard rumours of death if you try this, but I'm going to do it! So the problem with booking a holiday is this website called TripAdvisor. If you've been anywhere near it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Basically, this website reviews every single hotel in the world, which is a good thing, I suppose, except for the fact it means that every single hotel in the world has received at least one terrible review. And it's only those reviews that you believe, which makes it very difficult for you to decide on anywhere to go on holiday. First of all, who in their right mind is writing these reviews? I mean, seriously, who goes on holiday, comes home, unpacks, and just goes, right, now for the review. I felt the towels were very coarse on my skin, not what you'd expect. From a 4-star establishment, which is why I've given it 3 stars after much deliberation. 2 ice cubes and a Diet Coke, unacceptable in capitals. And you read these and you take them seriously. You think, oh, I don't know about the Coke in this place. The Diet Coke sounds really bad. The towels might scratch. Should we go to this place with the scratching towels? And then you find one you like, and it looks amazing. Big 5-star reviews, 5-star, 5-star. Paradise, it says. Paradise, heaven. The best hotel you'd ever stay in. Oh, it was just the most miraculous 2 weeks of our lives. We were picked up from the airport on a unicorn. Flew us to our destination, which was so wonderfully beautiful. The beds were so comfortable. The fish would just come up and sacrifice themselves on the plates. The kids' club was so good. We left 2 of our children. It's a better life for them. They're happier. And you're sitting at home and you think, I think this is it, darling. This is the one we should go to. Everybody loves this hotel, but you keep searching and you'll find it. Page 36, 1 star, the waiter slapped my wife in the face. Ha! There it is. They've got slapping waiters. We can't go there. You'll be slapped all day. But anyway, you finally make a decision. We went on holiday. It was nice, you know, a bit dramatic going on holiday. Trying to park at the airport is very stressful. Not if you do things according to plan, but men like to think that we've got things covered, like remembering where the car is parked. We like to... Basically, you park in zone and row. And the zone is alphabet, and the row is numbers. And we parked in C3. And I thought, I'm never going to forget that. Because of C-3PO. It's Star Wars. My wife said, "You're going to write that down?" I will never forget C-3PO. I've got it in my mind. 2 weeks later, she's like, "Where do we park?" R2. No, D2. Is there an X-wing? I can't remember. So we lost the car. But you know, we went to the airport, we went to the whole rigmarole. My wife, she hates flying. And it doesn't help they call the building the terminal. Who wants to hear that word when you're about to get on a plane? Terminal 2, Death Gate 4! Then you go shopping. People are buying televisions. They have huge TVs in duty-free. Who is buying these televisions? And then people buying TVs going, "Oh, shit, I've got to take that to Corfu. That's not good." So we had a holiday, and I have to say it was really lovely. We went half board, which is basically something you do to get a cheaper holiday. You sacrifice a meal in the day. You start to convince yourself that you don't need lunch, despite the fact you've been living most of your life with lunch in the middle of the day. You decide, to get a lower price, let's not have lunch. We're never hungry when we're hot. Anyway, you start lying to yourself. And of course, what it means is that you spend 2 weeks stealing from breakfast to get you through the day. You're sitting at breakfast, you've travelled across the whole world, you've spent unbelievable sums of money, you're sitting there going, "Is the waiter looking? No. Grab croissant! Grab croissant!" Okay, go. Hello, see you later. Hello, yes, goodbye, goodbye, hello, goodbye. Every day my children are like, "I'm hungry, what's for lunch?" Hot yogurt and pain au chocolat. It's all I could get my hands on. On the last day, the waiter actually caught us, came over, slapped my wife in the face. Couldn't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for my first guest? Please give all your love and welcome to the stage one of, if not the favourite comedian of mine on the circuit right now, Mr. Mickey Flanagan!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. How nice it is to be in Brighton. Oh, this is where we come from South East London to relax. And it does make you relax, come to Brighton, doesn't it? Because you get on the train in South East London, you're all stressed out, and you get to Brighton, you get off the train, and you look down the hill, and all the stresses and strains start to leave you. Quite a lot of the ambition as well. You're barely in Brighton 2 hours and you're starting to think, I'm going to go part-time. Very nice to be here. I actually come from the East End of London. Like most East End kids, I messed up my education because they left the gate open. I went to a tough inner-city comp with low expectations. In the third year, the careers officer turned up and he asked us what we'd like to do with our lives. The most ambitious kid in the class is Gary Hutton, because he wants to drive a van. We erupted. We're like, "You dreamer, Hutton. You's never going to drive a van. You have to write to Jimmy Savile for that stuff, man. No kid from this school has ever gone on to drive a van. Come on out, and you know why this school is here. This school is here to produce the people who carry the stuff to the van." Seemed like a long time ago, my school memories. In my 40s now, getting tired, don't go out much anymore. I've reached the point, if I queue up to get into a nightclub, and the bouncer says you can't come in, I just look at him and say, "Oh, thanks, mate." My feet are absolutely killing me, they are. And I've got a very good book on the go at the moment, I have. It's excellent. Chesil Beach. Because I've got some young friends and they talk me into it. They say, "Come out the weekend, Mick. Come out, man. Come on." It's gonna be mental, man. And I end up going out with them. End up in a queue to get into a nightclub, a queue. They love the queue. Queue's a sign the club is happening, man. Look at the queue. I'm in the queue thinking, we're never going to get a seat in there. I bet it's noisy in there. DJs don't like it if you go up. Do you do requests? Yeah, can you just turn it down a bit for me? Trying to talk to my mate about his divorce settlement over here. Can't actually remember the last time we ended up out. You know what I mean by this, don't you? The fact that in the UK we drink so much, we have different levels of being out, different types. I'll talk you through them. You pop out just to go to the shops, you've got to get a couple of bits, and you bump into a friend who says, "Should we have a quick drink?" And you go, "Yeah, only a quick one, though, because I'm very busy." 3 hours later, you're still in the pub. And then what happens is the evening people come in. These people are going out properly. These people are going what we like to call out. Now, the out people come up to you, don't they? And they go, "You going to come out with us?" And you go, "I can't come out. I didn't even come out. I only popped out." The out people don't want to hear this. They look at you, they go, "Look, you popped out. You've ended up out. You may as well come out. If you've got just the right amount of alcohol in your system, you look at them, you go, "You know what? I'm coming out." 5 hours later, you're in some horrendous nightclub. Sinatra's or Cinderella's, some hellhole. You're drunk now, and you feel you've got a crazy story for everybody. And you walk up to people. You go, "Do you know what? I didn't even come out. I only popped out. Now look at me. I'm out. I think the reason you feel so compelled to keep telling this rather long-winded story, because you're standing there in your carpet slippers with a pint of milk and a cut loaf. Now, we have dinner parties now. We invite our friends around for the evening, have dinner parties, but sometimes we treat ourselves to a restaurant. My wife's middle class. She loves a restaurant. She likes the ambiance. She would say to me within 5 minutes in a restaurant, "Isn't it a lovely ambiance?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about. I've just copped for the price of the piece." She says, "No, it's a lovely ambiance." I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out without poor people, isn't it? Basically, you're saying, "Could we put the prices up just high enough to keep the poor people away? I want someone banging a couple of spoons together, singing Mild Man's a Dustman at some stage, causing an atmosphere." It's the ambiance we're looking for. So, we're in this rather fancy French restaurant. Something is ruining the ambiance for my liking. There's no tomato sauce on the table. Setting up the very awkward situation where I've now got to ask for tomato sauce. My wife's looking at me. She said, "Please don't ask for tomato sauce." I said, "I've got to have tomato sauce. I've just ordered the risotto." "You can't eat risotto without red sauce. It's too dry. All the juice has been taken out of it. It's a health and safety issue." So I said to the waitress, rather stroppy-looking waitress, I said, "Excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building?" She's looked at me like I'm some horrendous pleb. She went off to the kitchen. I saw her making her way back with a little pot she'd rustled up. This big, about this big. 2 chipfuls, basically. She's tried to put it on the table and walk away like she's doing some sort of drug deal or something, you know. It's all secretive. I stopped her. I said, "Don't go anywhere, love. Don't go anywhere." And I took a sip of it. And I looked at her and I said, "Yes, I'll have a bottle, please." People of Brighton, you've been absolutely lovely. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Wonderful! Well, what do you know? Student people, Young people. Applaud if you're a student. You're all in the front. I love that. You've all come in and go, come on, let's go! All the olds in the midsection, I can't make it! You do nothing. You students, you do nothing. I remember being a student. I'd watch Countdown every day. Every day I'd watch Countdown, and then I'd even play it with my flatmate. We'd play Countdown. You know you're a student, and there's nothing much in your life when you go, should we play, let's play against each other. And Countdown is so difficult. It's really difficult. You'd be watching it, do-do, 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 boom. 2. What did you get? 3. Yeah, baby. 3. 3? That's good for you. What is your 3? B. B. Oh, there's another E. I got B, as in I will be here. Good. You're doing good today. And there was, I taped it. I taped Countdown, right? And he came in. I said, hey, can we play Countdown? It's on. But I'd taped it. I'd watched it. So then I started to get like 5s and 6s. And he was sitting there going, you're amazing at this. I was going, yes, I am. I don't know what's happened to me. I had a smoothie at lunch. My mind is on fire. And then when it came to the conundrum, I got it before it was revealed. They said, and now today's Countdown conundrum. And I just went, repugnant. Bloody hell! I know. I'm a genius now. Are you ready for our next guest, ladies and gentlemen? Please welcome a fine comedian, one of my favourites indeed. It's the wondrous Miss Jo Caulfield.
Thank you, very lovely Brighton. It's not all lovely though, is it? I've been down West Street on Saturday night. And this afternoon, I went over to the Churchill Centre, and I was just wandering around, because it's not all vegetarian shoes and wind chimes, is it? Let's be honest. And I was looking around, and honest to God, the people in there, and I was thinking, this is weird, because everyone's dressed for the gym, but you know no one's going. Isn't it? They're all covered in, like, Nike, Adidas, Kappa. I think it's ironic, isn't it, that often the more words people have written on their clothing, the less they can actually read. But to be honest with you, recently I've been having trouble sleeping, so I did actually go to the doctor about it, and she said the thing they always say, like 4 or 5 hours before you go to bed, don't drink any more tea or coffee. But then she goes, in fact, the best thing to do is have a relaxing glass of wine. How nice is that for a doctor? So that's what I've been doing. So every night before I go to bed, I have a glass of wine. I mean, it's not always easy, you know, because sometimes I'm already very drunk. Because I love going for a drink, but what I hate is the organising your friends, because there's always people who've got difficulties. Like my friend Katie, her difficulty is, well, she's got 2 beautiful children, right? She's also got one really, really ugly one. No, honest to God, it's like if Wayne Rooney had shagged the ginger one from Girls Aloud, that's this child. Yeah. No, sometimes I do go, oh, could you just turn her around? Oh, thanks. Then my other friend, right, she doesn't like to leave the house too long because she doesn't like to leave the dog on its own. Yeah. And she's like, oh, well, you know what it's like. If you leave them too long, they'll have scratched up the furniture and peed in the hallway, you know. And actually, I do know what that's like because I'm married. Isn't it? Rolled up newspaper on the nose. It's the only way they learn, isn't it? But I'm interested to see if the men here think this is normal, right? My husband, he's organising his friends to go out, and he says to me he's going to meet Nick the plumber and Jerry the engineer. Like it's a Mr. Ben cartoon. You know, and I know Nick and Jerry, so just say Nick and Jerry. Because women don't do that. We don't name our friends after what they do. You wouldn't go, oh, I'm going to go out with Katie the teacher and Jenny the slut. Because all women have a slutty friend. And every woman here will have a slutty friend. And if you can't think who it is, then it's you. Then you've got to find the place to go for a drink. Now, I quite like just proper traditional pubs. And so many of them now, they've all been turned into what they call designer bars. You know the kind of places I mean, where the staff are a little bit too trendy to actually serve you? Do you know the ones? And they'll give you the change on a little silver tray. Now, I was in one of these recently, right, in Leeds, and there's this woman behind the bar. Well, I say woman, complete bitch, right, let's be honest. No, she was. I can hear her talking about me, and she's pointing at me, and she's going, oh, look at her. She's picking up the change. It's a few measly coins, and she's trying to act casual so no one sees her do it. That's pathetic. I thought, well, two things. One, it wasn't a few measly coins, it's actually £4.10, right, probably more than she makes an hour. And secondly, yeah, I am trying to act casual because it's not actually my change. And also, when I'm out shopping, I don't know whether it is me particularly, but I do seem to attract, like, bad service and the idiot, right? This was unbelievably dumb, what happened to me. Where I live, I've got two supermarkets either end of the street. I've got Tesco one end of the street, Sainsbury's the other. So I go to them both, so I've got a loyalty card for both the supermarkets. So I was in Tesco's, and I'm at the checkout in Tesco's, and just by mistake, I handed over my Sainsbury's loyalty card. The woman at the checkout, right, no word of a lie, she looks at the card, she put it down, she then looked at her own badge. As if for a split second she was thinking, maybe she's right, maybe I do work in Sainsbury's. So let me ask tonight, Brighton, do we have people in love here tonight? People in love? A few women? All right, just out of interest, let me ask another question. Make some noise if you are married or in a relationship. Wow. That's really quite a lot more than said they were in love. That is very sad. But I'm actually with you, I'm with the second lot. The people in love, there is nothing more annoying than the newly in love couple, is there? They are so annoying. Like, my friend has been single a long time, and now she's just met someone special. So, I'm pleased for her because, it's difficult to meet people, especially as you get older. She had to go to salsa classes and learn all kind of skills she had no interest in at all, right? But now she's met this guy, she will not shut up about it. This is just one of the annoying things she said to me. She goes, Jo, do you know sometimes when we're in bed and he's asleep, I will sit up just to watch him sleeping. Yeah, bang. And also, how scary is that? You wake up, she's staring at you. How many people here are more like me? How many people here, be honest, have ever gone to bed so angry at your partner that you pretend to have a nightmare just so that you can roll over and smack them in the head? I've done that twice this week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brighton, I've enjoyed you this evening, because to me, comedy is like sex. Like, beforehand, you're a little nervous. During, best feeling ever. And then afterwards, I get paid. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen! I don't like designer labels. That's a nonsense. People wear designer clothes to say, look at me, I can afford this. Look, I've got a little crocodile. You don't have that, do you? I've noticed you have no reptiles on your clothing. You have a little crocodile. Sometimes I have a little man playing polo because I can afford that little man. Sometimes, because I'm loaded, the crocodile plays polo, yes. I think it's a nonsense. I think people should just wear T-shirts with a photocopy on the front of a recent bank statement. That would sort things out, wouldn't it? Just people going, look at that, £3,000, not to mention my savings. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for my next guest? Please welcome one of the rising stars of British comedy. It's Mr. John Richardson!
Hello. How are you? I'll give you a couple of seconds to readjust, because I recognise I come as quite the anticlimax. Down and out. Oh, yeah! Oh, dear. Seriously, though. It's important how you talk, because people decide very quickly whether they can be bothered to listen to you or not. And the best tip I ever got was from a teacher, because it's important that teachers are heard, because they impart, serious facts. My teacher, the best teacher I ever had was my technology teacher. To make us listen at school, what he used to do, every now and again, he'd put a little speech impediment on. right? Not a big one, just sometimes at the end of sentences he'd make a little noise. So we'd be sat round and he'd go, don't forget, lads, if you are going to do a dovetail joint, just reinforce it with some PVA glue. And that was it. That is poetry when you're 15. That is one lesson you are never missing. And of course it's genius for a teacher, because we were listening out for it, accidentally learning stuff. And I think he knew, because as a reward, he'd always do a nice big one at Christmas. Like, don't forget, lads, that will be on the exam. School was the last time I was really happy with myself, I think. Because school, you don't know who you are, you're still learning. You go to university to find out who you are. And I went to university and found out I'm a prick. Yeah, it's a real blow to me. I have compulsions about cleanliness, which are not kept by most students. You know, you go to university to find out you're cool, you try drugs, you have sex. I found out I like stuff tidy and in its place. Which is devastating when your flatmates are bursting into your room going, "Wait, I got a spoon up my arse, let's do some and go out." I was more like, well, why don't we wash that spoon? Twice. Then we'll pop it back in the spoon compartment of the cutlery drawer. I don't know if you saw my note. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a note writer. And you go to write a note, you think, well, I don't want to come across as a dick, so... Hey, guys. Yeah, that's the one. Be really cool if we could wash our own things up. Yeah. Pop that on the fridge and wait for the shit in my pillowcase. I'm much happier on my own. I'm very angry when I leave. When I go out now, I'm a very angry person if I see things done how I, don't think they should be done. Like when I drive, generally I don't assert my anger because I'm aware I've got a punchable enough face as it is without provoking the matter. But it's only when I drive I become Mr. Confident because my brain goes, "Ooh, John, I've had a quick scan round and you're wrapped in metal now." That's the definition of RoboCop, isn't it? So when I'm in my car, I love my horn. I really love to blast the horn. And there's a lot of cliches about small men who blast their horn. I just do it to get it out of my system. If someone cuts me up, I want them to know they've done it. So I'll just, "Screw you, society." The problem is I drive a Ford Fiesta. That's not the most masculine horn on the market, that one. What's supposed to come out as "Screw you, society" tends to come out as "Stop it!" It ruins... I've been single for a long time now because you need to have a certain confidence, I think, to get in a relationship. You need to be able to go up to someone. My friends love it. My friends that are single love being able to go up to strangers in a bar and know that they know nothing about them. I hate that. I'd rather, if I see someone I like, I'd rather just go up to them, give them a laminated list of everything I'm good and shit at. There you go, that's the full package. You see what you think? I'll just be over here crying into a drink. But my friends love that. "Oh, yeah, what do I do? I'm a ninja." Probably not a ninja, then they wouldn't have seen you. Otherwise, pretty crap at your job. But then they go back, and the sex thing, it's confidence in sex now is crucial. They love the fact that you can go back with someone and go, "You'll probably never have had it like this before." And, I can do that, but it's more of a, "You'll probably never have had it like this before." I don't know if you've ever been with what they call a crier. Because it's a very confident beast, You're supposed to enjoy the fact that you can put stuff places and tickle stuff and squeeze bits. And what they tell me they do, my friends, is that now part of sex is talking. You talk to each other during sex. Not in my world. I'm a traditionalist. In, out, whimper, apologise, bail. That is the game as far as I understand it. No chit-chat, there's barely time. All right? But what it is, the reason I don't talk is just self-awareness. I've heard my voice. I know what I sound like. And this is not a voice that will accentuate a sexual experience. I think for a lady, the last thing you want to hear when you try to enjoy yourself is, "Oh, I'm having a smashing time." I don't know what this is, by the way. It's the tone of my voice is horrible, isn't it? You don't want to hear that. And my accent. If I try and compliment a lady, it sounds like I'm talking about livestock. It's unfortunate, but I can... "Oh, that is beautiful." It sounds like I've just come off Emmerdale. It's horrible. And the main reason I don't talk is I'm not much of a conversationalist. I wouldn't know what to say. So I've asked friends, I said, look, if this ever happens, what do I say to someone while sex is happening? And they said, look, at advanced level, there's a lot of who's your daddies and wherefores. But as a beginner, if you're not that confident, while it's going on, if it's going all right, you just go, ooh, you like that, don't you? Not as camp as I do it, obviously. You say it like a man would say it, like, ooh, you like that, don't you? I can do the voice if required. It's a voice you must do throughout, by the way, not just for that sentence, because that frightens him. Oh, you like that? Come back. From the beginning. Now, I quite like that one. It seems sensible to me, because it's not a statement, is it? It's not you talking to them, it's you asking a question, so they have to respond. So you go, oh, you like that, don't you? And they go, oh, yeah, that's smashing. Now, you say that, and the fear I have is something I learned from comedy, and this goes for anyone who addresses an audience, right? Because brains play tricks on you. And what you do, when you're a comic and you start out, you're not very good, right? And when something's not going very well, what your brain says is, you should just reference the tension and it'll go away, right? So you go, this isn't going very well, is it? It doesn't help. You just give the audience a window to go, no, it's not. Piss off. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that applies during sex. And saying something as stupid as, oh, you like that, don't you? Just gives her a chance to go, no, it's actually quite unpleasant. Oh, no, this was my idea, John. I'm going to have to stop you there. I am feeling quite bilious now. I don't know how to describe it to you. You know when you stroke a dog the wrong way? That's what every inch of my skin feels like at the moment. Soz. That's all the time I've got. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Take care. Good night.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Mr. John Richardson, ladies and gentlemen! We love John Richardson! Oh, look. Ladies and gentlemen, look at Sally Gunnell. Sally Gunnell! You're a winner, Sally Gunnell. A winner of the Olympics. You won the Olympics. That's brilliant. Anyway, welcome, Sally Gunnell. How are you? Are you local?
Yeah, Stenning.
Sorry?
Stenning, just on the other side, about 20 minutes.
Stenning?
away. Yeah.
Stenning, just on the other side. You pointed to it. As if I was a lost man. I need to get to Stenning, Sally Gunnell. Just on the other side. Do you know for a fact that it's in that direction?
Definitely.
It's definitely. People always point. When you ask someone where they're from, they will always immediately point. They'll go, I'm from Port Slade. Port Slade, definitely. I'm from Port Slade. Oh, London. I'm in London. I'm in London. I'm in London. I'm in London. If you've just been somewhere, you'll go like that. Just come from London. London. Now I'm going off to Stenning. People also tell you the height, the approximate height of their children. You got any kids? Oh, I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. We've just visited my great-grandmother in Stenning. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your headliner? It is a great pleasure to introduce one of the leading lights of comedy. Please go wild for the pub landlord, Mr. Al Murray!
For the neighbours. Good evening. Look at this beautiful audience. Hey, look at this Muppet shot of the front row as well. Fantastic. Hey, what's your name, sir? On the end.
James.
James. Beautiful British name. What do you do, sir?
I'm a translator.
You're a translator. Fantastic. What language?
Spanish and English.
Spanish into English? What's the point? I've met some time wasters in my time. You are top of the pile, aren't you, pal? Duas cervezas, por favor. Job done. 2 beers, please. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's not like we're going to have a war with Spain, is there? You're surplus to requirements, aren't you, pal? Welcome. Great to have you. You are beautiful people, though. Hey, and it's great to have all these young faces here. Yeah? These young faces and the grey hair in the second row there, the gentlemen. You right there, Pops? You warm enough? Can you hear me? Do you remember the things I've said? You remember the war? The thing is, Pops, these kids in this family, look at them all, mother's milk wet on their face. These kids, right, They're not like you. When you was a lad, Pops, you had stuff to look forward to, didn't you, when you was a youngster, didn't you? Yeah? Stuff to look forward to, like winning World War II, like Elvis's music being discovered, the Beatles. All these kids have got to look forward to nowadays, living in Britain, right now, is the 2012 Olympics. Let's be honest, it's going to be a bit shit, isn't it? Yeah, let's be honest now. Isn't it, Sally? Let's be honest now. It's going to be a bit shit, isn't it, love? Yeah, because the Chinese did a brilliant job, didn't they? Last year, amazing job, wasn't it, Sally? It was a fantastic job, 2008. Yeah, it's incredible what you can do with no human rights and a billion slave labourers. The 2012 Olympics, it's not going to be brilliant, is it? Because health and safety are going to get hold of it. Yeah, they're going to put in ramps, aren't they, for the hurdles, love? Aren't they? That's what's going to happen. They'll do a risk assessment on the javelin, won't they? You're not going to throw that, are you? They'll fill in the swimming pool, won't they? Yeah, risk of death from drowning. They'll fill in the swimming pool. Not only that, the teachers will say, no, we can't have anyone winning any races. It'll upset the others. The 2012 Olympics, to be honest, it's going to be a bit shit. And I worry about these kids. Yeah? The young lad here with the floppy. What's your name, son?
Callum.
Callum? Beautiful British name. What do you do, Callum? You're a student. What are you studying, young man? DT, physics and maths. Design and technology. Yeah, carpentry. That nail's gone in. Physics. Yeah, well, here's all you need to know about physics, mate. That's it. Gravity. What goes up must come down, mate. That's all you need to know about physics. Yeah? Yeah, well, of course, Pops, in your case, it doesn't go up as often as it used to. Yeah, what was the other one? Maths. Right, so you'll be able to count how many nails you've hammered into the piece of wood. Relying on gravity to make the hammer drop. That's what you're going to get from your 3 A-levels, aren't you, son? And then all that in McDonald's, not particularly helpful. Now, the point is, because I'm worried about this kid, because you've got nothing to look forward to, yeah? Like Pop said, yeah? I mean, did you even believe there's a God, son? Do you believe there's a God? Huh? No, you don't, yeah? You do, don't you, Pops? You believe there's a God? You ought to, mate. You haven't got long. It's time to make your mind up. Seriously, old man. You don't believe there's a God? You don't believe there's a God? Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. I will prove for you now, right, live on stage here this evening, that there is a God. Yeah, and I'm not going to use Bible blah blah or Vicar waffle, right? Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use common sense reasoning from within my brain, right? And when I prove that there's a God, I want you to stand on your feet, turn to this audience and say, I believe. Yeah? You up for that? Good boy. Excellent. Thanks for volunteering. Now, the point is this, there's obviously a God. I see proof of God's existence in creation every single day. The beautiful butterfly's wing, the dolphin cresting the wave, the smallpox virus in action. Wherever I look, I see the existence of God, right? Yeah? And I mainly know there's a God using common sense every time I look in the sky and see a jumbo jet flying in the sky, right? Because I know nothing about physics. I know nothing about lift, thrust, drag, aerodynamic coefficients between different aerofoil surfaces, about thrust vectors from engines. I know nothing about any of that bollocks. Right? I've never even heard of any of it. But what I do know, without a shadow of a doubt, is that a jumbo jet is too heavy to get off the ground, isn't it? It's too heavy to fly. It's too, isn't it, James? It's too heavy. I'm too heavy to fly. Look, I cannot fly. It's not happening, is it? I'll try a run up. It's not happening. I am not able to fly. James, try and fly for me, sir. Try and fly. Go on. Get up and try and fly. Go on, try and fly. James, fly! Fly, sir! Fly! 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 You can't fly. You see? You're too heavy to fly, I'm too heavy to fly, but we'll happily get an aeroplane with a load of other people who are too heavy to fly and expected to get off the ground. Yeah, it's full of luggage, it's made of metal, it's not made of feathers, it shouldn't fly. A jumbo jet is too bloody heavy to get off the ground. And this is where divine intervention comes in, where God comes in. That jumbo jet gets to the end of the runway, like that. And prepares to take off. At this precise moment, God is up in heaven, looking down, right? from heaven. Now, no one knows where that is. It could be in the sky, it could be in space. Maybe it's behind the moon, personally. I think it's behind the moon. Is that what's going on? When he saw me, that was close. Lightning. Disappear again. Like that. God's up in heaven, and he looks down to the runway, and he hears a sound coming from the aeroplane. Not the sound of the engines powering up for takeoff. No, the sound of incessant, fervent praying. Please, God, make it get off the ground. Please, I want to go on holiday. I don't want to catch fire at the end of the runway in the fence. Please make it fly. Please, God, please, 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 please. Like that. And that's just the crew. God hears this. God hears this and is reminded of something. He's reminded of a promise he made to mankind over 100 years ago, on September the 17th, 1903. Because on September the 17th, 1903, God was up in heaven, looking down at the world, and he heard two men arguing, two men rowing with one another. He looked down and he could see they were arguing over this strange contraption on the ground, this weird thing with wings and a tail and an engine. They were rowing with each other. He looked at it and thought, well, that's not going to fly, is it? That's never going to fly. That'd be reasonable. I mean, it's got wings, but the wings don't even flap. Hey, you've got all those birds flying around as a clue. What a tragic waste. Hey, come on, that's not going to fly. And they were arguing. The Wright brothers were kicking off. No, you listen to me, you fool. There ain't no way this aeroplane going to fly. You've done your something wrong. It's too heavy, you fool. Mama said you was a fool. This plane never going to fly. No, you're the fool. You're the fool with all right. I'm going to get in this plane, fly around this prairie, land this plane, and kick your fool's ass. No, you're the fool. I've seen a horse fly. I've seen a house fly. Why? I've even seen an elephant fly. There ain't no fool getting me in no plane. Brothers. Now, God heard this. They thought they're going to kill each other. Right, I've got to step in. So at the precise moment of takeoff, he reached down with his almighty right hand, picked up the aeroplane, and carried it round the prairie. Holy shit! Like that. Now who's the fool? And as a result, mankind achieved its first ever powered flight. But God had snookered himself, hadn't he? Because from that moment on, he's obliged to make every other plane that flies according to those physical principles fly. And that's why the 20th century turned to shit, because God was too busy juggling aeroplanes to listen to us, wasn't he? All day, every day, Heathrow Airport. Oh, Christ, stacking back this afternoon. It's busy down there, all standstill as well. Get me, oh, quick. Shoreham Airport. Just... was won. Now, good Heathrow all day. That's why we won the Battle of Britain, isn't it? That's why the British won the Battle of Britain, because God, being British, was dropping German aeroplanes on the sly. Oh, there goes his Messerschmitt. And that proves the existence of God, doesn't it, son? Yeah, using common sense. On your feet, turn to this audience and say, I believe. On your feet, boy. That's it.
I believe there's a God.
Good boy. Fantastic. Beautiful. There you go, Pops have sorted that for you. It's been my pleasure drinking. I'll see you again. Please take your glasses. Back to the bar. No. Come down on that money, ladies and gentlemen!
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for all the acts we had tonight. We had Mickey Flanagan! The wonderful Joe Caulfield was here! The sensational John Richardson! And our wonderful headliner, the pub landlord, Alan Murray! Thank you very much. Good night. Bravo. Thank you.
In case you've missed any of them, all the comedy roadshows are now on the BBC iPlayer. Stick with us here on BBC One and see Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck save the world from Armageddon after the news.
Wow, it was a dramatic qualifying session here at the Nürburgring for the 2009 German Grand Prix today, and two bits of good news for you. First of all, if you're a Red Bull fan, Mark Webber bagged pole for the first time in his career. Second bit of good news, if you like drama, there's more rain expected tomorrow. So join us for the race, 12:10, BBC One.